WTF, everybody. Welcome to Funkatopia. I hope everybody is doing fantastically well. I am your host, Mr. Christopher. This is my co-host, Jeff Page.
What's happening, everybody?
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have one of the funk queens in the house. You may remember her from the Brides of Funkenstein. Maybe you remember her from P-Funk All-Stars. Maybe some of her work with Bootsy Collins. Maybe some of her work with Public Enemy. Who knows where you may remember her from, because she's been everywhere and she's pretty much done it all. So it is an honor to have the one and only Sheila Brody-Head, aka Amuka, in the house.
Hi guys, how are you, Christopher? How you doing? You two are amazing. Jeffrey, you're amazing. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. If I get silly, it's just my personality. I can get a little silly. I just want to warn you.
Hey, that's what we're.
You're allowed.
You're gonna fit in fine, because
okay, thank you.
We will go off the rails, and one of the things you're gonna find out quick is that as you're telling stories, we're listening very, very intently, and so if you have to try to slip something in, we're gonna catch it. We're gonna dig deep. So just know it's coming. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
So where are you at right now? You're in Detroit, right?
Detroit, Michigan. That's my hometown where I'm from.
Home of the Mojo.
Awesome. Oh, I love Mojo. Oh my God, I love him. He's so amazing. He is amazing.
I mean, it's kind of amazing to me as far as the Electric Mojo and just him. He is one of these iconic radio DJs that has been in the industry for decades, like literally a full generation, and it's the impact that he's had on so many artists in Detroit, not just in Detroit, but just worldwide, because I know that Prince gave him a lot of love on a regular basis. Mojo was for real. I mean, I don't know when he got started. When did he start? I mean, it had to be in the 70s.
I have no idea. I don't know. All I know is that he played the hell out of Never Buy Texas from a Cowboy, and he was amazing. I actually went out with him one time, and it was so funny because my mom was like, "Bring her back by 12." It was really, I was pretty young, and Mojo was so nervous. We didn't get back by 12, so he took a vase that he had in his house with the flowers, all very beautiful, and he said, "Here, you can take this to your mom." Okay, I said, "Okay." She was happy. We were late. But he was a perfect gentleman, by the way. A perfect gentleman. Absolutely.
So where did you guys go?
Where did we go? I think we just went out to dinner. Just something simple, just to talk. It was like a business meeting dinner type thing. So we did that. And it was amazing. He has books. He wrote books, right? He has a book that he wrote. You know that, right?
I don't think I knew that. I don't think I knew that.
Mojo has a book. Absolutely. It might be one or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just went out for dinner until after 12.
It was. Well, we went to dinner and then we went, to I think we went to a club or something. Yeah.
Roller skate? Uh-oh.
I think we lost her.
She went mute.
I'm sorry.
How
do I put? No, I'm here. So I don't know how do I stop people from calling me? I can't. Oh my God, they're gonna call.
Okay. You want me to reach out to him? You want me to tell him? You want me to?
There you go.
Yeah, somebody's watching the show.
Straighten him out.
Yeah, I'm good.
She's doing an interview. Don't call her.
Call me, please.
So this was more of a business meeting thing.
It was like a business thing, but I think
each other.
Yeah. And he was very nice. He was a very nice man. A very nice man. A perfect gentleman.
That's awesome.
Just everything is awesome. He's awesome.
Don't find a lot of that anymore.
No? Oh, you watching it, Greg? My husband, was he watching it? He said yes. You watching it? Okay, thank you.
So basically, one of the things I want to know is just kind of how you got started in singing. I know this is probably a story you've had to do, but because you shared a story with me earlier when we were talking on the phone about how you hired into
George, the P-Funk. Yeah.
But how did you start before then? Because you already had a cassette. So what was was that of, and what was all that?
I was working with some bands here in Detroit. One of them was called Holden Caulfield, which was an all-white band in Grosse Pointe. And I remember the little brother had never seen a black person in the flesh. It was crazy. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, I was like, I was going to Cass Tech. I would stay with them during the week because gas was really, really high. So I ended up staying with them during the week, and then I would come home on the weekends. It was because I was in their band. I was like 14, 15. I was young, really young. Wow. Yeah, Holden Caulfield. Then I had a group called Damali, Peyote. That was with Leroy Hyder, who I love. Leroy, if you're out there, I love you. And I was doing songs. So I had music recorded. And I started with this girl named Lola Reed and Cindy Reed and their brother Billy in Syracuse, New York. I used to go outside and they would play, Syracuse didn't have any R&B stations till recently. So I would go out there. And so all I listened to was like rock, pop, and maybe, I don't even know if dance was, I don't know, but I didn't listen to R&B. So they were like, they put the radio on and like, hi, Sheila, why don't you sing this song? Try this song. So I would try the song and they really liked it. So I kept doing it. Then I entered in a lot of talent shows and I would win. So I'm like, whoa, this is kind of cool. It's kind of cool to win. And the way that people responded to me, I thought like, there might be something here. And then the thing with George, United Sound Studios, I met a guy named E-Man, who was like the sound guy. I think he was working for Bootsy, and then he ended up working for George. And I know he went to California, worked for Snoop. Anyway, I was out somewhere and he approached me and he was like, hey, and I told him I was a singer. He said, you should come down to United Sounds. Bootsy and George are there. I'm like, I didn't know who they were. It's like, who's that? So anyway, I went down there and Lynn Mabry was sitting in between Studio A and B. There are like these steps, right? So she's sitting there. And he takes me to her and he said, hey, Lynn, this is Sheila. She can sing, right? So Lynn said, do you have anything? And of course, I always walked with my music. So I gave it to her. She put it on. And she says, wow, this is kind of nice, right? And all of a sudden, here comes George down the stairs, descending the stairs. And he had an all red leather outfit on with these tall red leather boots. And it was 90 degrees outside. So I'm looking at him like, who is this? I mean, whoa. And he came walking down very slowly. He sashayed down the stairs. And then he came. She said, hey, George, this is Sheila. Meet Sheila. She's a singer. And she said, hey, check this out. So she played my music. And George listened. And then he looked at me and he said, oh, okay, is that you? I'm like, yeah. He said, do you have a passport? I'm like, no. He said, well, you need to get one. I said, why? Because you're hired. He hired me right on the spot, right there on the steps, like boom, United Sounds. Of course, I didn't believe him. I was like, you're right. He's gonna hire me on the spot. That doesn't happen. Well, it happened. And then I told him he had to ask my mother because I was really young. And you have to talk to my mom. So he came and he sat down with my mom and she cooked him pork chops and she always did stuff for him. And anyway, he said, I want to take her on the road. And she said, well, I'll let you take her, but you have to promise me you're going to treat her right and look after her and take good care of her. And he said, I promise. And you know what? He kept that promise because my mom recently had brain surgery over 2 years ago. And George and his wife drove their Mercedes little truck over here by themselves and spent like 4 hours with us to see my mom. And he said, guess what? He said, guess what? I'm still taking care of her. And most of this is going to be in my book, but there's a lot of other juicy stuff in there, just by the way, but it's not done. I'm working on it. But yeah, that was amazing. That was a miracle in my life, but I expect miracles. If you expect them, they happen. And that I know for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's amazing because, one of the things before we start to talk about the Brides of Funkenstein that you just shared the story of how you kind of got hired on. The thing I find interesting is that you did not know Parliament Funkadelic.
Well, they were. I was a rocker. I'm a rock. I was a rocker. I was into like rock groups,
that's
like Zeppelin, whatever. I didn't even know who P-Funk was. Is that awful or what? I mean,
so like rock, you like rock stuff that with like an edge, like your Mother's Finest type of.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I love them. Oh yeah, any kind of rock, because I could feel it more. I could express myself. Like I really felt like I really expressed myself with rock and roll. I could like, just I could just like hit something. You know what I mean? It's powerful. It's the power that I crave in rock. Well, and that power it goes straight to my heart, and it makes my heart super happy.
Dawn Silva, we had her on the show a couple months ago, right? A few months ago?
Weeks ago, I guess. Yeah, maybe.
Weeks. Recently.
Weeks? Feels like forever.
Feels like forever, doesn't it?
You're silly.
She did say, she sent me a quote. She said, Sheila's powerful voice opened the doors for the brides to tap into the new wave rock market.
Oh my God. That is really sweet. That's very sweet.
She said
there's
Sheila
more?
went. Yeah, there's more. She said Sheila went on to become a valuable asset to George Clinton and the Funk organization. And it saddens me that she didn't get the recognition that she truly deserved.
None of the women got the recognition they deserve.
Right.
Dawn as well. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't understand why whenever they did the Grammy Achievement, I called, and the chick I talked to, the Grammy Achievement Award area, she was Moby's ex-manager. And she said, I totally understand. And she said, but there's nothing we can do. And she said that George had okayed the list, but I asked George, and he said that was a lie. So I don't know what's going on, but the George that I know would push, would at least make an attempt, because he does care about the women. I mean, I don't know, man. We did not get recognized, and that is definitely not cool, because there are women that are not here anymore and they can't speak for themselves. And I really feel like that situation needs to be handled. We didn't get any when they got the Grammy, when they got the Achievement Award, when they got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We were there. I was there, but we didn't get an award.
Well, why weren't you asked to come on the stage when to accept the award? Everybody was up there. Why weren't you guys?
I was there. Dawn, I don't think Dawn was there, Lynn, but I was there. And Linda Scheider was there. And I think Belita was there. But I didn't understand it. It's very misogynistic. I'm sorry. I'm calling it out. The music game is a little misogynistic. You think?
Well, in the funk world, yeah, I totally agree. Because,
I mean,
and that's one of the things that we're trying to resolve here at Funkatopia. Because we brought up Lynn Mabry and Dawn Silva and you. We're trying to rectify that. Obviously, I would have loved to have Betty on the show.
Right.
But
oh my God.
Unfortunately, she passed. But Betty Davis.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I just saw this girl, Thornetta Davis. I just saw her do a Betty Davis song, and she killed it. So yeah, I do get it. I get it.
And one of the things, there was something that I saw mentioned. I want to say it was I'm pretty sure it was in. Am I dropping on it every now and then?
No, you're good.
Dawn Silva's book. She had mentioned some organization or something called the Funk Organization or the Funk News something or whatever. It was a couple of guys that did a lot of the promotion and stuff for Brides of Funkenstein and Parliament, whatever, to set up radio shows and broadcast and whatever. And for whatever reason, there was stories that were being mentioned in there. I think Jeanette had mentioned some story where they wouldn't tell you guys when these radio promotions were happening. So like all the guys would show up for these interviews, but
that sounds like Marcy. No. That sounds like the publicist we had, Marcy Gargosian. She didn't really look out for the girls. I'm just being honest. Sorry, Marcy. I got to tell the truth. Okay. She basically, they had, okay. There was something called this list. And I did tell George what he could do with that list one time, because I was on the bus, and Bootsy and one of the bus manager came on. I think Derek, he passed away. Rest in peace. He came on the bus and was like, okay, whoever's on this list is going to Bootsy's house and record. If you're not on this list, you're not going. So Bootsy came on the bus and personally invited me to his home, to his studio. And Derek said I couldn't go because my name wasn't on the list. Okay.
Oh.
So I'm not about, I don't like lists. I don't like that kind of game. I don't agree with any of that. I told George that is so horrible to treat people like that. Like, oh, if you're not on the list, that is the creepiest thing ever. And I never, ever, ever liked it. And I still don't. I'm sorry.
Man.
Yeah, and it's amazing because your voices, you guys, your voices is what brought everybody, what pulled it and tied it all together. It would not be the same or have been the same without you.
God bless your soul. That's what I've been saying. I said, take all the female voices off, then see what you have.
Then you got a sausage fest.
Thank you. Hello. But I'm going to say there's some guys in the band that did say, we don't need any women out here. I've heard it. Yes, they've said it to me. And I'm like, wow, you wish. That's right. But yeah, women are needed. We're good. We're talented. We add a lot to the whole thing. So why wouldn't we be needed?
Yeah, absolutely. You need
flavor.
And for all these folks that are in chat room, I see you sending all your love. We are not ignoring you whatsoever. Rachel Armstrong Clinton, love my funky
Hi,
sister.
darling. It's George's niece. I love her. She's amazing. Yes, Rachel is awesome. Love you, baby.
All these people sending love. All these people sending love. I am not ignoring you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yes, all these.
Oh, George, he's an incredible artist. He's incredible. He's an incredible artist. But I love my people. I love my people, and I don't want any anger in my heart, my being. I don't do anger. I find it, like a laser beam it, and it's got to go because it doesn't. There's no place for it in my body. Yeah, I believe in forgiveness and just being happy and having as much fun as possible, as long as possible, which is what Ron Stozo told me. Oh, we gonna go there. I just want to say something right now. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. Okay, Ronald, you know I love you, Ronald Stozo. I love you so much, but you know I gave you that book when you said, Sheila, give me this book that George gave me with all of the pictures in it, his drawings and stuff, because you knew that he was doing collaborations with Overton. So then you were like, okay, you're doing collaborations with Overton. Let me borrow the book and take it to George so George can do collaborations with me. And he was my best friend. So why would I say no? I did. But the book, I have not seen it. And when I asked him about it, he had amnesia. So I'm putting it right here, right now. That book surfaced. It is my book. Okay. That's all. That's what I want to say. I love you, Ron. I don't understand that kind of move because I'm not a selfish person. I would have shared with you. But for you to take the book and then disappear and be MIA out of my life because of that, that is crazy. That's crazy to me. I mean, there's enough money and enough things for everybody. We don't ever have to be selfish and greedy. I don't believe in those two things. So I don't know what's going on with you, but I do care about you. And I would hope that the book will surface. Thank you.
You heard it here. It's her book.
Give it
exactly. Thank you. But I'm good. I hold no malice or anger.
You're good, but if you need us to go get the book, I got a ski mask.
Can you go get it, please?
I mean,
we know people. We'll go get that damn book.
We'll get that damn
Y'all know people. So we know people.
We know people that know people. There's parking lots everywhere.
Honey, I have an Uncle Frank in Vegas. Okay. I'm just joking. I'm not joking. No, I'm joking.
So you come on with the Brides of Funkenstein, and this is after their debut album and everything. And you came on during. I'm assuming you guys were on the road, and you came in with "Never Buy Texas" from a cowboy.
Well, what happened is, okay, they had to do their first album. The first album, which was Funk or Rock with the two robot girls, right? Mm-hmm. That was Lynn and Dawn. And I got hired as to sing. I was a bridesmaid, honey.
Yes, I called them bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
Yes, and it was funny because I love you, Lynn, but I'm gonna tell the story. I remember one time I was so bad. I was signing.
I drop in.
I love Lynn. Lynn is my hero. Can I just tell you that? Because she definitely looked out for me, and she took me to George, and she got me hired. I am not joking. She is definitely responsible for changing my life as well. So we're doing a in-store, so we're signing names, and I signed the brides because what do I know? I didn't sign the bridesmaid. Lynn saw me and she said, you don't sign bridesmaid. You sign bridesmaid. You don't sign brides. So I got checked, and then I became a bride.
Wait, now who
Bride.
said this to? Who said this to you?
Lynn
Linda.
Avery. Yes, I was like shocked because I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. I was just signing, the brides. I'm part of the brides. She's like, you don't sign the brides, you sign bridesmaid. I'm like, oh, okay.
All right.
I just
and it was another thing. There's another thing that really, when I first got there, Larry Legaspi, an amazing designer. He was doing all the designs, right? So when I first got there, I saw their outfits. I'm like, ooh, we're gonna have some. Ooh, it's gonna be bad. I mean, $5,000 boots, 5,000. I'm like, ooh. Well, they took us to Learners and Bakers. Are you familiar with those shops?
$5 boots.
I'm just asking, are you familiar with Learners and Bakers? I don't know if Learners is even around anymore, but it's not where I shop because they call me Designer Funk. And I didn't shop at Learners and Bakers, but we went there, we got the clothes, and I wasn't happy. I was like, well, that ain't right. Why we gotta wear this and they get to wear that? Why we gotta hello. But I guess I chopped it up as part of the business and rite of passage. I'm like, oh, this must be a rite of passage. Okay, I must have to do this to get to the next level. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what happened.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, but I love you, Lynn. And I know we all get, and one thing I gotta say about George, he told me, he said, Sheila, when you get full of yourself and you think you all that, go in the bathroom, say all that you think how bad you are and how whatever into the toilet and then flush it. He said, because that's what it means to anybody else. He taught me that lesson.
That's pretty powerful.
It is powerful. And it was powerful. I learned it immediately. I mean, so I never really developed that gigantic head. And I'm very thankful that he taught me that. He gave me a book called Animal Farm, and it was pretty, he gave me a lot of books. He's a very well-read person. He's very, very well-read. And he does great interviews and he never messes. His interviews are so perfect. I've never seen him fumble an interview ever. It's just perfect.
That's
so
awesome.
I've watched him, yes.
Good preparation.
Just let him know the door is open.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. I'm definitely going to mention it. Might be a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love to have him on. So, obviously a lot of people don't know, if people aren't familiar specifically with your voice. I know that Brad, I know that
to
Brad.
Be happy, go funky. Oh, that voice right there. Da 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 da, and you'll never Texas from a cowboy and never buy a bridge while you're in Brooklyn. And I really like to take my little, I really like to get some vitamin E and some honey first, but y'all, you are inspiring this coming out of me. It's just and Val Young does this all the time. She'll sing at the drop of a hat. That's another friend of mine. But anyway.
Yeah, that takes a special person. I have a very good friend, Nicole, who I used to go to high school with, and we were in an Italian restaurant, just sitting around. And it's one of those. What's the chain Italian restaurant that's here in Atlanta? Well, I think it's everywhere, but it's one of those Italian restaurants.
The Garden. I mean,
not Olive Garden. The
Carrabba's. That's it. Yeah.
And every now and then people will break out in song because it's supposed to, it's inspired by Italian. And I didn't, I knew she was a singer, but all of a sudden we are at a table of 10 people and she just starts singing and singing loudly for the entire restaurant. And it's and I've been a singer all my life. I've done professional television commercials. I've performed on stages. I've toured. I've done all that stuff, but I've never been comfortable enough to be sitting at a and just be like,
break out singing,
just break out doing it. I feel like I need to have some type of accompaniment or something. And it just takes a really, really special confidence. Not that I don't have confidence in my voice, but in a situation like that, it's like,
wow.
It just takes a lot.
Christopher, you sing?
Oh yeah,
you're
absolutely.
A singer? I need to look in. I need to check your stuff out. Hello. Yeah. What do you know about Italy? What I love it. I lived in Italy for like a year and a half.
It's a spaghetti, lasagna.
No.
Pasta.
Trattoria. No.
Pizza.
Pizza. But anyway,
Yeah,
going back into that, Brad was sharing, and I know that Brad Kilmer is in the audience, but
of course.
he sent me, of course he is. He sent me a clip. He sent me a clip of a rock vocal video that we'll play right now. People already got a taste, but he wants to give you guys a taste right directly from the album. So I'll play
right
this.
now. Okay.
That just kind of gives you a taste of this. I mean, that is
whoa.
If that doesn't pull your heart out your chest and make you go, oh!
Can I just tell you, George made me do it so many times. I was like, George, it's fine. Do it again. No, it's fine. Do it again. And this partner was way back, way back. I made him do one of them. I'm like, I'm not doing it. So then he said, I'll do it. I said, okay. So he's in there doing it one time. But I'm glad he did that. He was so, oh my God. But it was a good thing because that song has withstood the test of time in a way that I can't even explain.
Yeah, and you sing with like so much heart and soul and power. It's just
because I meant it. I meant that shit. I mean, I meant it. You understand the Never by Text from a Cowboy and Never by Bridge in Brooklyn. You know what happened. You know about Brooklyn Bridge. There was a guy that didn't own the Brooklyn Bridge, but he sold it for years and made a lot of money. But he didn't own it. I don't know how he got away with that, but he did get caught and then he went to jail for life. But in other words, don't buy a bridge while you're in Brooklyn or a cowboy because they're gonna oversell it or over whatever. You know, it's just not a good idea. It's like almost don't fall for it. That's what that is. Don't fall for it. Which I did a song called "Don't Fall for It" too. Oh, look at that. Ooh.
Yeah, there's so many photos that a lot of all these that I'm going to show you here are all from Don Silva's book, The Funk Queen.
Really?
They are
use somebody else.
Oh yeah, there's some amazing photos in here. There's a lot of great photos and stories. We talked about those stories.
Yes.
Talked about yes. And let me just say that there is just so much cool stuff, and you know, it's surprising because a lot of these pictures were even in rotation. I mean, until this book came out, I don't think a lot of people had seen like a majority of these photos. So how welcomed did you feel coming into the mix of the Brides of Funkenstein? You know, just kind of, you know, it seems like you just went right in and it was gravy from the beginning. Well, but I
don't know if it wasn't gravy. Because when we first got in, okay, you know, we were all excited and everything. And Cush Griffith, who was he's a horn player. He was a horn player, passed away. Rest in peace, Cush, we love you. He was like, now look, let me tell y'all something. Y'all got stars in your eyes right now. Don't let them stars fool you. Now, if you gonna sing, because they want us to sing P-Funk and the Brides, right? So I was like, well, you must get paid for both. Don't just let them pay you for one and you do the other one for free. Don't do that. So we went to them and I went to Archie. I love you, Archie. I love you. Went to Archie Ivy and I said, Archie, we were like, well, okay, we all got together. Me, Babs, and Jeanette. We all got together and we said, okay, we're going to go and ask to get paid for the P-Funk show. So we all agreed. So when Jeanette and I went to do that, Babs like, I didn't say that. She just totally like didn't, just left us by ourselves hanging out there. And we were like, Archie, we want to get paid. He jumped up on the table. I forget this. And he was stomping on the table. He was like, don't you realize who you are performing with? How dare you? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm standing up there. But this was when they had, I think Larry Legaspi had made all the costumes for the underwater thing, right? So all the costumes were tailored to fit us particularly. So they couldn't change the costumes. And I kind of knew that. So he was like, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, we want to get paid. And we're not doing it. If we don't get paid, we're not doing it. So we stuck to our guns and they paid us. But at first they were trying not to. And thank you, Kush. He's like, get them stars out your eyes. Make you sure you know what you're doing. So I love Kush. He always was a very wise man. So yeah, we did that.
Don't you just love the blessings when somebody's fighting for you and you didn't even see it coming?
It's amazing. And you know what? In reality, that's why we're here. We're supposed to fight for each other. We're supposed to coach each other and help each other achieve our dreams. Not be like crabs in a barrel, like, oh, you come back down here. No, because look, I have this concept of padding your ladder. Okay. Everything that goes up must come down, right? So if you pad your ladder on the way up with people that you assist and in their dreams and they become successful, and you have all these successful people that you assisted getting successful up this ladder, when you come down, you will not hit any splinters. It will be a cushy descent. And I'm going to create a whole art piece of that because I think it's really important. People, I think we need to have a bigger sense of community, like helping each other, not hurting each other. It would be better. Yeah.
I absolutely agree because this, especially the music industry, absolutely is a networking. It's connections after connections. Even with what we do here with Funkatopia, it's like just how things are just kind of connected and tied together, and how
and the fact that both of us are artists.
You're an artist too. What do you do?
Oh, I same thing. I write, produce, sing, full studio stuff.
Where's your
a lot
stuff?
of instruments. You can see. I play those. There's guitars and basses.
You're in Atlanta. You're in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to what's that guy in Atlanta? The really big guy. They haven't mentioned him at all. We haven't seen him in Dallas Austin. Where's he?
Oh,
they're like, who's that?
No,
we know who Dallas is.
Who Dallas is.
Matter of fact, Dallas.
I know
he is running. He's still doing production work. And matter of fact, I just saw. I think I have a picture I took of him last year or a couple of years ago. He is promoting a one of those. It's something to do with crypto right now with this company called DOA, music licensing.
Yes.
It's like a music licensing thing that's done in kind of like a crypto format where you can kind of protect your music.
Wow.
Using some type of this technology. So he's like all in the background doing this.
It's NFC stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, right. NFTs. Exactly. I was going to get involved in NFTs because I have a video, but I don't know. I heard they're not what they were cracked up to be or something. I don't know. I heard it wasn't the best thing to get into.
Well, they have their value. It's just the issue is approaching it properly, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand. You have a unique scenario because there's value in what you have, and a limited runs is what makes the value of NFTs grow.
Right.
And what you guys have is something that's like nobody's going to be able to just recreate.
Right.
So yeah, there are a lot of things that people can just, oh, this is what I'm doing. It's not the same. So yeah, there's some value.
Yeah. So
what was the band that had a real problem with their album? This rich guy bought their album, and it got really. Anyway, we don't have to go there. We can talk about it.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes. Yeah. What the hell? It got really vicious and gangsterish and all of that. I'm like, whoa.
Oh. Yeah. He hired them to actually. He bought the album, the single copy of the album, and yeah. I remember how it all shook out, but I think it actually has been leaked now on torrent sites and stuff, so I think it's out there. But yeah, he owned the only single copy of it. But yeah,
they wanted to hurt him, I think. Then they were like, dude, I know I saw some special and it was like, okay, but that's cool.
Yeah. That's so cool. Brides of Funkenstein, let's talk about this a little bit, because because obviously there's been, brides really aren't together anymore, but we see little factions of Brides of Funkenstein. Like, for instance, I think Dawn is actually doing a Brides of Funkenstein show in LA. Has that already happened? I think I'll have to look and see, but I think so there's different configurations. So I'm kind of curious, before we move off of Brides of Funkenstein and kind of move a little bit into your career, some of the other stuff that is on your list that I desperately want to talk about. Would you consider a Brides of Funkenstein reunion if you guys could kind of work things out? Because I don't think everybody's on the same page with stuff.
Absolutely. Why not? What the hell? We went through a pandemic. Okay. We don't have time to be anything but creative. So it's a creative thing. I think the fans would love it. Yeah, I'd be definitely into it. Yeah.
We would.
Why
too.
not? Really?
Yeah, we would too. Absolutely.
We would too.
Why would
hello.
We'd want you to bring it here.
Atlanta.
I mean,
I like Atlanta. Atlanta. I got friends.
Oh yeah. George always comes to every single time. Well, George has been retiring now for 5 years.
5 years now, at least.
Let me give you a secret.
Okay.
He's never. He told me that he was never going to retire. I mean, this is a long time ago. He's like, "Girl, I'm gonna be on that stage. I'm gonna be on the stage forever, and until I can't get on it no more." So, it's addictive. The stage is addictive. It's addictive. It's hard to just give it up. Like, okay, I'm done. Then what you gonna do? I'm sorry. He's an entertainer. That's what he does, and he's really good at it. And I've watched him and learned a lot from him. Yes.
Now, I know in '96 he was doing a Mothership reunion tour, I want to say, and there was like a big show that was happening in New York City, if I remember the story correctly, and the Brides of Funkenstein was supposed to be on this bill. And you guys,
I thought we were.
Well, and you were, but then when something happened at the show and there was something that came unraveled, and I don't remember what the full story was, but did you guys not do a full performance, or I don't know exactly what happened, but I remember there was a story.
We did our show. I don't know. I've never heard this story. I don't know what this story is.
Well, I know that tour kind of went to a bunch of different cities, and you guys weren't on all the stops. I know that.
Really?
Because it came through Atlanta, and you guys, I don't remember you guys.
Was I performing with them? Were we the brides, the three of us? Was it the three of us?
It
was me. Well, I don't know what that could have been. Oh, okay. Well, there was an incident where, wait a minute, but they were like, the only thing that happened is Dawn left one time because of an incident that we talked about earlier. And then Jeanette and I were doing the show together, but I don't remember us starting a tour and not finishing it. I don't remember that. I don't remember.
Are you referring to the Michael Hampton incident?
Well, yeah, but she probably don't want me to say nothing, but she probably not listening, right?
Why would she?
I love you, Dawn.
I don't know if the Michael Hampton incident should be
aired on here. Okay, we want to leave it alone. What you think?
It would be great. I mean, if people know about it and we're outside of the what do they call that when a crime happened a long time ago and it don't matter.
Yeah, maybe I better not. I just put it in the book. I'll put it in the book. It's gonna be in the book. If they want to know, outside the statute, they're gonna have to read my book. I changed the name.
We've already talked about it. Just go ahead and just share a little story. I don't even know where this would fit in. Just go ahead.
A brief version.
Just do a brief version.
Abridged.
Oh, God. Okay, something happened. And then Michael had to go to that's it.
I like that version.
I can't tell you guys. I'm gonna put it in the book. It'll be in the book.
It'll be in the book.
In the book. Yeah, I'm gonna be nice.
Yeah, well,
my husband was like, no. He was like,
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it was.
No.
I could just picture it. No, don't do it. No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
No.
I swear, he's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay.
Story.
Do it. Don't do it.
What was that? What was this? Okay. So, and before we move off of Brides of Funkenstein, there was. First thing is, did you ever receive any advance royalties from Atlantic Records for Never Buy Texas?
Oh, that wasn't me. They got that. That was their situation. But I did have a lien against me for that album. I had a lien. Yeah, I had a lien because they reported to the tax people that they paid me this money that I never got, and then and I didn't know about it. But when I went to go and buy a house, it was $11,000 lien or $12,000. I don't remember, but I had to pay that off before I could get my house. It was crazy. And I couldn't do anything. They're like, I said, but I never got this money. And they were like, well, you better be careful when you give your social security number to. That was their answer. Because I couldn't prove that I did. I couldn't prove that I never got the money. I couldn't prove it. So I'm telling y'all, better keep your social security number very tight and close to you. Because if it gets in the hands of certain people, you might just be, I don't know what happened. I think the accountant at the time must have gone through and tried to find out where to put money. I don't know what he did, but he allotted money to me that I never got, and then I had a lien against me.
How much are they claiming that they gave you?
The lien was $12,000. I don't know how much they were claiming to give, but the lien was $12,000. So I don't know, but yeah, I think Dawn, they had some issues with that too. I think there was some issues.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Right, so that definitely answers that question. But I had heard, and you can tell me if it's wrong, but that when you went to, and I brought this up, I told you I was going to bring this up. I'm gonna share a tab. Yeah, let me see if I can share this tab. I don't know if I can. Hopefully, we'll be.
Is there any water?
We're gonna play a little clip here, and while she gets.
I'll get you some water.
Oh no, I'm not getting any water. No. I asked my husband if he could get me some water. He's
and let me see.
Mr. Greg Head, y'all. That's my husband, Greg Head. Yes, I'm Mrs. Head. Okay.
Right. Glad you're here.
So we are going to. I'm going to share because I'm going to share. This is a little clip of a song called "Smoke Signal," so you know where I'm going with this show afterwards.
I do know where you're going. Oh boy,
let's share this little clip. This is just off of YouTube. So hold on a second.
Freezer? Is that in the freezer? Thank you, baby.
All right. So apparently when you were recording this, people were feeling some sort of way. They said that you were on fire and it was turning folk on.
I had no idea. Jesus. I did not know. I'm telling you, I had no idea at all. None.
Stories from the other side of the glass that George was on the other side of the glass just losing his mind. Just he was just saying she was just on fire. She was on fire, and so you had no idea that you were making people feel some sort of way when you were recording that.
No, because when I go in the studio, I get into the mindset, and then I just I go from there. Like it was like smoke signals. What creates most smoke signals? I was just vibing. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I was just vibing.
I know how that is. Sometimes when you get on stage, you get on that mic, and you are in the moment, and you are
yes
music, and you connect with it, and you're just like, it doesn't matter what else is going on. It's just like,
no matter.
And everyone else
I'm grooving. I'm feeling this. But I am. It's a reciprocity thing. We are exchanging like frequency vibes and stuff like that. I mean, I love it.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
That was in her book, right?
Yes, that was in Dawn's book. Yes.
Okay. I haven't read the book. Dawn, can I get gifted a book? I mean, I was your bandmate. I'm just saying, but
It's a big book. She might have
book.
sent it.
No, I don't have it. It's fine.
And she
But
said,
I meant to get it. But I've been crazy. I just haven't had the chance. I'm working on finishing my book. It's thank you, Dawn. She's definitely a very big inspiration, and I really want to congratulate her on getting it done and getting it out there and getting people talking about it. I mean, that's amazing, and I just want to acknowledge her for that. That's pretty damn cool.
It is
there it is.
Yeah,
friggin' book.
That's a book. Now,
It's
that's a book.
Like, I mean, if you didn't have a weapon in the house,
to use a book,
you can throw that. Yes.
I mean, if you're gonna write a book, you might as well write
you can throw it.
if you can throw it.
That's like an elephant of a book.
Yeah.
And that's good. You know, they were talking this whole scenario about dogs they have their puppies in 2 months and elephants take 2 years, but what's coming out is a wonderful, amazing elephant. So that's good. That's an elephant of a book, like, you know, wonderful.
Do you have any thoughts or ideas as to when this book may or may not drop?
I said I was going to have it done before the end of the year. I said the end of the summer, but that looks like that's not going to happen. I have a girl that I was writing with, my friend Michelle, who moved to who moved to Chicago, bought a 6-bedroom house. And she wrote her book. She wrote her book, and I didn't finish mine. So I'm going to finish it though. I'm going to finish it. Hopefully before the end of the year. Hopefully.
Brad asked, curious what Sheila Brody-Amuka stories are in there. There are quite a few.
Lord.
There are quite a few.
Yeah. And there's quite a few I can't put in there. So
yeah,
I want to get in trouble. Oops.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Dawn wasn't worried about getting in trouble.
No. Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus. Oh my God.
You get what you get, right?
He was.
Well, I don't understand. Wow, some people were very upset.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Spicy stuff. I was like,
spicy. You got to keep it spicy. Spicy.
Go ahead, Wendy Williams. All right.
I know, right?
Oh no, poor Wendy. Oh my God.
Let's talk about this. I want to know how this became, which is fries go with that shake.
Do fries go with that shake?
Love that.
That was my ex-husband, Steve Washington of the group Slave, or those groups. He was the mastermind behind them, and we also have a son. But yeah, those were that we went to. We were here in Detroit, and I introduced George. I introduced him to George, and we just started creating. And then we wrote "Do Fries Go with That Shake?" And yes, so Miss Vanessa Williams, right? Okay, so this is a story sort of like Jordan Sparks, kind of a Jordan Sparks story with Ariana Grande. Anyway,
wait, pause. But you said was about Vanessa Williams? This is what the song is
no,
about?
It wasn't about Vanessa Williams. I wrote this. I wrote the lyrics. Okay. My ex-husband, George, and I wrote the lyrics.
Okay. My
ex-husband did the music, where he does the backwards thing. Like he was into he was experimenting with backwards tracking and stuff. And so George took the track unbeknownst to me to California, and my friend Deborah, she called me on the phone. She said, Sheila, she was in the studio. You are not going to believe this. She said, George is out here and he's got Vanessa Williams in the studio. He's trying to do, and he's telling her to sing a verse just like you. Sing it like you. I was like, what? So she did one verse, but I did everything else. Okay. And then she went and got a deal. Yeah. And I guess they thought it was all her, but it wasn't. And the weird thing is, when Unsung was going to do a thing on her, right, on Unsung, when they got to me and this story, they shut it down. But, you know, the truth always finds a way to surface. It just does. Right. And I asked George, I said, George, why would you do that? Why would you, like, I did all this work. I wrote the lyrics with you. I did all the everything. And then you tell her to sound like me? Why? So to pretend like it was her song? Not her song. It's my song. I said, and it was written for me, not Vanessa. But he had other, he had ulterior. Anyway, he had other things that he was trying to do. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. And yeah, but I don't care. Things happen. What are you going to do? It happens. Right. Yeah. And when I asked him, I said, George, why? He said, baby, because she was Miss America. And what else he say? And he said that she was in that magazine and showed whatever. They said that too. And I'm like, well, okay. And he said, and that's rock and roll. And that's what he said. That's it. So if he asked me why I talked about this on here, I'm gonna say, that's rock and roll, George. Basically, that's it. That's my answer to things now. That's rock and roll. That was his answer. Yeah. That's rock and roll. But no, George he never brainwashed me. Okay. I know I heard about that. Mm-hmm. No, he never brainwashed me. He never used me. I'm much smarter than that. Yes, I am. There was a particular friend of Dawn's. We're not going to say her name. JW. Anyway, not Jim Wright. No, not him. It's a woman. But she said I only had one brain cell left when I went through the cyberbully thing 5 years ago, which I thought was pretty interesting. Because I'm not blind, but I was blind. I was blind when I lived in Italy. So I don't know what that's about. But people can be mean. And it's time to stop all the meanness. Just be nice. I mean, God, please.
Right. It's not even that hard. It's just difficult to do.
It's much more. It's much easier to be kind than to be other than kind.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just choose kindness. I choose kindness.
Yeah, plus everything you put out comes back. So
I believe in karma.
Why are you not?
You know karma real. Karma is very real. Trust me.
And it can be a bit.
It can be good, but this is the thing. It can be good or bad. It's up to you.
Yeah, because it just is.
Whatever you put out there, you get back. You put good things out there, you get good things back. My mother used to tell me, she said, Sheila, whatever you do, if you do good, good will follow you. My mama told me that. And and if you do bad, that's gonna follow you too. So
that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how long ago was it, Jeff, that we had Stone City Band on?
Oh, those are my guys.
Yeah, that's right.
It's probably we had them on.
Oscar.
It was probably a few more. We had the whole band on.
Oh my God. Yeah. Danny, Oscar,
the whole entire
Levi. So you must have known I was a Mary Jane girl. You knew that then. Somebody told you. Who told you?
Yeah, and that when you and it, right. Good old Mary Jane girl. We gotta be so. And John Wesley Payne said, "Ask her about a year."
Yes,
that was a good segue.
I loved Rick.
So yeah, so tell me the story about Rick and how you got connected with Rick and how.
Well, Val Young, I found out. Rick actually had her come find me. He was like, "Go get that girl, that cute girl in P-Funk." He called me the cute girl. I was like, I just found out. Go get that girl. Tell her to come over here. Then when I talked to him, he said, "George's ship is sinking." He's like, "You need to be on my ship. My ship is sailing, and we sailing real. We going places, so you need to be here with us." So I joined. I said, "Okay." Val Young and I, we became we were the Mary Jane girls. There were the Color Girls, and then we were the first Mary Jane girls. But then I got kicked by Rick's road manager that I would not sleep with. He was on me like incest. It was unbelievable. And my mother always taught me, you don't sleep with people that are paying you. Right. Because he was paying me. And I'm like, get mad at me. And no. Don't mess with my money. And that's going to be in the book too. But yeah, with this particular time, he tried to we were in Detroit, and I had somebody in my room. So he said, "Oh, you think you're starting on, huh? Well, watch this. Next one, you're gonna have somebody else. You're gonna have a roommate." I'm like, "What?" He said, "Oh, you will have a roommate," because he didn't want me to be able to see people because he wanted me to see him. And I was like, "No, I will not. I will talk to Rick when Rick gets up." And then he was like, "Okay." Blah, blah, blah. And then he said something else and he called me a bitch. He did. You know the bitch word. You know what it does to us. So I can't help it. And I told him where he could do. I told him you could. And he kicked me right in my tailbone. I went flying across the gravel, whatever. And I wasn't going to leave right away, but I was in a lot of pain. They gave me these heavy duty pain medication pills. It was like, and the girl was telling me, "Well, you know how it is out here for women. You know, you can't say nothing." I was like, "What?" I'm looking at her like, "What are you talking about?" So after the pain stuff, the medication wore off, I said, "I'm going home," because I needed to, I wanted to know what's going on with my back. It was bad. And I did that. And it's still kind of up in the air because I did, It's a long story. It's still hasn't been really resolved. I did sue Rick. I did win. But they never covered the sexual assault part. They only talked about the kick, because it wasn't like now Me Too would be a different story. So yeah, that's what happened. But Rick loved me. I mean, it didn't affect him necessarily, because every time you go on tour, you have tour insurance. So that's, the tour insurance covered it, not Rick. But we were friends before that. We were still friends, and I'll always love him. He's a very special person in my life, and he made me feel like a star. He did.
Oh, you were a star, and you still are.
Oh,
yeah.
But he is the ultimate. I mean, he is the ultimate rock star like I've never seen. His house was intense. Like, we rehearsed there, and I used to get lost in his house. He had tennis courts. It was crazy. It was amazing. It was amazing. I loved him. He was amazing.
So were you ever on any of the officially released Mary Jane Girls recordings or anything?
Nope. Oh, when I got kicked, I left. I left the tour, and when I left, he gave Val her own album. When if you should ever be lonely, that's her song. You remember that song?
Mm-hmm.
That's Val Young. So she did that song, and then he got all 4 new Mary Jane Girls. That's what happened. But we were the first Mary Jane Girls, Val and I, and then I got kicked. And then she went on to work with Eddie Murphy, and then whatever, and then But I left.
I'm running the Mary Jane Girls songs through my head and trying to envision the impact that your vocals would have had on those.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
it would have been a different band.
It would have changed
dreams.
Sure,
absolutely.
He had dreams. But I'm going to tell you something. Did you ever get to see the Rick James musical that was out with his daughter did? His daughter Ty James did a musical. It was called The Rick James Story or whatever. It was really good. And then Val was singing, like, it's a musical, right? We got all these great singers, and then she's in the background. She's behind the stage singing. So I'm like, okay, she just wanted to be on tour or whatever, but she's doing that thing. So we're all down there at the downtown at, I think, the Fox, going down there to see them. Ty invited me. We were at intermission. The other girl, Candy was sitting right next to me. So we got up to go see Val during the intermission. So she knew we were both there and sitting next to each other. Because Ty came back and sat right next to us. So Val, at the end of the show, they bring Val out and introduce her as the original Mary Jane Girl, but there were 2 of us. It wasn't just her. It was me. So she said something about Candy. Candy's not up there singing and behind the stage. So she says, Candy, she calls Candy up like, Candy's out in the audience. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I know she's going to say my name. I mean, I know she wouldn't do that because we're supposed to be friends, right? We're cool like that. That girl did not say my name. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't really drink, but I had a Mai Tai at the place, and I never had a Mai Tai. And they gave me courage. I stood up. My husband looked at me like, where are you going? I walked right up to the front of that stage and looked at her, and I said, Val, is this what we're doing right now? Are you really going to do this? Like, for real? And she looked at me and she kept looking like, I don't know what to do. Like, she was thinking. She was like, what do I do? So then he said, oh, and Sheila, blah, blah, blah. But Greg said, my husband said, girl, she had moved that mic from in front of her mouth when she did it.
Wow.
So it was a rude awakening. I thought she was my really close friend, and it hurt me, that she would just, like, it was crazy. Like, would it hurt her to say, hey, this girl, she's part of the Mary Jane Girls too? I mean, it doesn't matter though. Because I am confident in who I am. So I don't need her to validate me.
Right. And, I'll just say, since it came up, the Rick James, the whole thing, Stokely did an awesome job of embodying Rick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. You saw it?
Yeah, I saw pieces of that. Somebody
he did a
great
great job.
When they came here to Atlanta, we did their video and pictures. We were there as press for the show.
Oh,
and
wow.
he just came out there and was just like, oh my gosh, you think, okay.
He was Rick.
He was Rick.
I'm telling you, it was like amazing because, I lived with Rick. I lived in his house for like months. And I mean, I knew him very well. And I'm like, he got him to a T. I don't care what anybody
Really
else
did.
says. He looks like him. His little movements, a little jerky, the little thing, all of that was Rick, all of it. But see, he didn't say that. I don't know if his daughter knows the whole line. Like, it's like, I'm Rick James, bitch. And I'll have, what it was always say, do you know who I am? This is it. Do you, because I've seen him do it, like on the airplane with stewardesses. I've seen him do it. Do you know who I am? I'm Rick James, bitch. Stewardesses. Oh yeah, he told a stewardess that, I swear. He said, this is exactly what he said to her. He said, do you know who I am? I'm Rick James, bitch, and I will have your job. Yes, he did. I was like, oh my God. That was his line. They only do part of the line. I'm Rick James, bitch. But there was a whole line. And that was the whole line.
I love it.
He was an amazing human being. He was very talented. He was just amazing. I've never met anybody like him. Anybody, ever. And he was generous. He was a generous, kind, he was a nice guy. But, he had his moments, but he was Rick. But he loved sushi. We would drive like miles and miles to get the sushi he wanted. Oh my God. I love sushi too, but Lord have mercy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth it.
Yes, it is, to get the best sushi.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But one time, I'm just going to mention this. I never forget, we were on the bus. He told the bus driver, stop. And there were these two little ladies like standing there. Why the bus driver opened that door and he mooned those ladies? I could not believe it. I was like, Rick, they're going to have a heart attack. Why would you moon them? And he cracked up. They opened the door and there his butt was right there. Okay. And I don't know if you guys know, Rick wore makeup 3 shades darker than his color. Y'all didn't know that, did y'all?
No. Why?
No, I didn't know that.
Because he thought that at that time, the darkness, it was better to be he called Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy the Darkness Brothers. Darkness. So because he felt it was better to be a little darker in the game, because you get more record. It was better. It was cooler to be darker. So he would put 3 shades darker, and it was amazing because I when I first saw him without the makeup, it was like he totally different. He looked better with the makeup on. I'm serious. The dark makeup made him look better. It was weird. But yeah, he did that. He did. And he had a thing for glitter. Whenever we were in the dressing room, we had a glitter check, and you could get fined if you didn't have enough glitter on. If you didn't have enough glitter on, he would come in and glitter you up.
But glitter doesn't go anywhere.
All over you and your clothes and everything else. That's what it does. I'm going to glitter you up.
In your butt crack.
Yeah. Everywhere. We got glittered up. Okay. Every night. That was the rule. And we were not allowed to fraternize with any of the other bands. You better not be seen with any of those guys, or I'm going to fine you $500. If you want anybody, you need to come to me.
My God.
That's what he said. Yes, that was right. But we were very, Val and I, we managed. Limousines picking you up. Don't nobody know who's in the limousine. Anyway.
That's insane.
It was.
Those must have been really awesome rehearsals.
They were.
He's just like one of these just characters. I mean, he's just,
oh my God. Just amazing.
He's
a character. Oh my God. Okay, we're in California. George and Sly come in to the room. I'm in the room with Rick. We're all in there, and they're like, "Yo, Rick, man, can you cash this check? This $400 check from me?" Like they wrote ahead a check. They're like, "Can you cash this check?" And Rick looked at me, "Man, this better not be rubber. This check better not bounce." I was like, "Uh-oh." We got back to the Buffalo. That check bounced, and Rick called a meeting of the band, and he had to tell me, "You know what? Yo, people, George and Rick, that check bounced." But anytime anything happened with George and Rick, he would have a meeting, and I would be at the center of the meeting. Yo, boys, you see what they did in California? Look at this book, blah, blah. It was crazy, but he idolized them. He did. And I really think that it might have caused his downfall, because he started doing things that they were doing, and it wasn't good for him. He couldn't handle it. I'm just telling you. Mm-hmm. And I really miss him. I do. He was a very amazing human being that had a lot more to offer to this world.
Yeah. He kind of got himself in a lot of different weird things. I mean,
yes.
Any news that came out, it was always some weird. Somebody's chained up in the basement. Somewhat, it's just weird.
Yeah, and that's all the media. Yeah, exactly, and that's what the media gets. That's it. We only get the weird, freaky,
Only
crazy
the weird
stuff.
stuff, because I think they like that's all people are really interested in. They want to see that weird, freaky stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
he wants to
I mean,
freak.
we do also, but
I
still.
was talking about this last night. We were talking about this Prince documentary that's in on hold because the estate's trying to stop it because there are things in there that are just negative type of. They're just stories that, you know, just like you say, people want to hear these sensationalized stories.
Prince was a handful.
Oh yeah,
He was. I knew somebody that worked for Prince, and they told. I knew Prince. I met him. I was crazy because I would just walk up to him because his bodyguards. Well, you had to have permission to talk to him, right? I'm like, right, okay. I ignored that. Yes, I did. But my other friend was working for him, and he said he went up to Prince and he said something, and Prince said, Did you have permission to talk to me? He was like, no, and they fired him. So that's some weird shit right there. That's weird to me. Like, why do I need permission to talk to you? You're a human being like I am. I don't need permission to talk to you. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. And what is this thing, this weird thing where entertainers don't look at her in the face? Like, what the hell? I'm sorry. I just don't understand that kind of thing. I don't
kiss my ring first.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
we're all the same.
I've heard similar stories about Prince where they say when he comes in the room, don't look at him, don't talk to him, don't.
Exactly.
I've heard.
Why?
I don't know if it's true or not.
It is true. The part about asking permission to talk to him, that's true.
Wow.
Because I would ignore that shit. I would walk right up to him, right by the bodyguards, and they'd be like, "Don't mess with her. That's all right. Just let her do what she's doing." That's what they just let me do. That's it. But we went to his house a few times with the whole band. That, you know, he would do these concerts at his house. He has furniture that was shaped like his guitar in his house. But he has a place where he would do these concerts, like a hall in there, and we went a few times with the P-Funk bus.
Wow.
Yeah, he was cool. He was cool too.
I want to talk about another character because this is interesting to kind of understand how you got involved in this.
Okay.
For those in the 90s that never got an opportunity to see the Bootsy Collins cartoon that was created. I mean, I'm not going to give you the full story. It's actually not a really long cartoon. I want to say it's only like 15 minutes or something like that, or 20 minutes, something like that. But it's basically about the whole cartoon is about Bootsy's concert being taken over by a villain named Louis St. Jacques, and who by the way is voiced by by Beavis and Butthead's creator Mike Judge.
Yeah.
Who also did the
Tour Bus, Tales of
the Tour Bus
yes.
that we'll talk about here in a second too. So we're going to a little bit of an animation section here.
Right.
But basically this villain, Louis St. Jacques, voiced by Mike Judge, he kind of comes in with his own brand of funk and he poisons the crowd. And then we have this unassuming funk guy who wants to meet Bootsy or be part of the band or whatever. Right. He somehow gets a hold of a magic Funk Express card and he manages to get backstage to Bootsy to have him. Anyways, so I'm going to play a little clip from this cartoon, and it's just a couple of pieces because I wanted to just highlight the pieces where you are in it,
pink wig,
and you are in a pink wig in this.
Yes.
So let's watch a minute and 40 seconds of Bootsy's of this. That I basically explained the premise of this, but let's watch it for all of its strangeness, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Funky, yeah.
How'd you get in here, baby?
Who are you, Sugar?
Sweetie, are you a funketeer?
And if you are, where'd you get your funk from?
Sugar, we talking to you. Slapperoni, do you know this boy?
No, I don't, baby. Do you realize that you are intruding on a funk?
Oh, man, it's like Bootsy. Boy, stand up.
Hey, what? No!
No, you didn't. No, y'all didn't.
Yeah, baby. I said, yeah, baby.
That was, you know what? It's so bizarre because I don't think Mike Judge realized he used me for two things. He didn't even realize it was the same girl. I mean, I did acknowledge him. I did tell him thank you, but that cartoon did really well. But when they, you know how they put it out there for people to see and then they grade how people like it and don't, whatever. They didn't like the Bootsy character. So the cartoon never came out. They love the girls. They love the girls. What are you doing? This is Princess Halo. She's she's a princess. What can I tell you? Anyway, yeah. But they love the girls, but they were like, oh, and Bootsy, they just pulled it. But it was good. I love the pink. Wasn't she cute? That pink wig. Oh my God. And my voice. I was like,
voice.
Oh my God. So when you come in here, boy, who let you in here? Oh my goodness.
So who put now? Mike Judge wrote that cartoon, and
that was a Mike Judge thing. Yes.
Okay.
And I think Stozo hooked me up with that too.
Yeah, he's got so many things going on, and now Beavis and Butthead is actually being recreated now. Also,
what?
It's a brand new series now, a brand new season of it that just came out, which is insane. So yeah, how did he find? Did he just said I want to cover
my friend Stozo, who I love very dearly. We was very close, very close. Stozo hooked that up for me, and he told me about the Tears of the Tour Bus. Because he's an artist. Stozo is the artist that does all the alien. He created the alien character for P-Funk and a lot of other characters. Stozo the clown. I do love him. He's one of my best friends in the whole world. And I really want to know where he is. And I'm not mad about the book. We can share the book. I'm not angry. I just wish he would come back, into the fold, dude. I mean, I love you. And that's it. I don't hold any malice in my heart for anyone because there's no time for that. When we only have time, the only time we have now is to love one another. Yes, I'm going to say it. I don't care how corny it sounds, but it's real. It's real. Nobody got time for all that craziness, all the nonsense. We don't have time for that. We don't.
No. Yeah, and if you need to, we just use the book as an excuse to get the ultimate, just to get together,
Yes. I love him. I love you, Stozo. Come back into the fold.
So I'm kind of curious because, the only thing I really know much about Mike Judge is his work in the animation realm. I mean, between, Beavis and Butthead and what's the other one? The other one with the guy that works at the propane company. I can't remember the name of that cartoon.
You talking about another artist?
No, another Mike Judge
okay.
cartoon. I can't remember the name. I want to say Family Guy. It's not Family Guy. Anyways, but then he also does Tales from the Tour Bus where he kind of covers different funk bands and stuff. So I'm assuming that, and maybe because you've met and spoke with King of the Hill. Thank you, Joshua. That maybe you do know some of a lot about Mike. Is he like a big funk fan because he's doing these Bootsy animations? He's doing this Tales from the Tour Bus that covers a lot of funk stuff, and he covered Betty and he covered Morris, and he's
just this amazingly creative guy, and I guess he just goes to wherever he gravitates. Like, if maybe I want to do this, maybe I want to do that. He's just amazing, and I'm just happy that I've been able to be in two of his things. That Tales of the Tour Bus literally saved me from the cyberbullying that was going on. It saved me, and I am so grateful. Man, I'm telling you, I love that guy.
For those that don't know about the cyberbullying incident, can you fill people in?
Oh. We ain't gonna say no names, okay?
Okay.
But I can speak better than that. But anyway, DS decided I went to California to do this show with this group called Funk Insurance. And then they had another band called Brides of Funkenstein, which is not the same as Brides of Funkenstein. But I was doing out there by myself as Sheila, Amuka. And this person contacted radio stations and told them I was a fake bride, that I wasn't really I shouldn't be there because they felt like I should go through them to do the show. This is what I was told. I do not know. But it was mean, and they were just dogging me all over. Get her done. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Get her, get her. Like they portrayed me as some wannabe singer that was trying to. I don't even know, but it was ugly. It was awful, and I've never been cyberbullied. But okay, I'm not even. I can tell you how I got through that, but it's okay. You know that George saw. Oh God, do I need to get in this? Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. George and Boots, you know they had an encounter with a spaceship, right? You know that. You know that part. Do you know that? You know that, right? Okay. Well, I had something happen with me, Cherokee, and this guy, Kenny Colton, on Bootsy's bus, Space Base. That was my first time that I ever encountered anything, and it's been ongoing. So anyway, we were in California, and we were we were going out. I was being cyberbullied, and I was like, really, like, oh my God. We went. My husband wanted to smoke. He was smoking cigarettes. He stopped, thank God. We went around to the back of the Grayton Hotel, and we were like walking around, and something told me to go to this path, open path. And I looked, and I saw some things. Okay, I have the footage. I can send it to you. So my husband I saw one thing, and he was like, "What is that?" And then let's go. He got scared. So then we went back the next night, and he had bought a camera, and there were 8. So I've had encounters over and over again. It's like. And my friends like, are they following you? I don't know, but they're real. I just want to let you know. And George, because I think I'm affiliated with him, I think that's what my thing is. Because Cherokee, Cherokee is a bass player for the Brides, and he also played for George. Cherokee and I witnessed this. I saw it first on the Bootsy bus, and I woke him up because I was like, I'm not seeing this by myself. And then he went back there, and he was like, oh my God, it was moving in the back. Like on the sky, like I've never seen anything move like that, like a dangling earring. It was all over the place. Planes and helicopters don't move like that. So we saw that. I woke him up, and he woke up Kenny Colton. Kenny Colton, unfortunately, drank himself too. He's not here anymore. It is a lot to handle. It's a lot. And I do remember certain things, but Cherokee remembered a lot more. He said there's a lot to it, but yeah, that really happened to me. And no, I'm not crazy.
And so when Tales from the Tour Bus came along, which I actually have a couple minute clip that kind of
cyberbullying. The cyberbullying, yeah, that was horrible. That was really horrible. Nobody should ever have to go through that ever. But the Tales of the Tour Bus saved me from that. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, let's watch I'm gonna watch a little 2-minute section of Tales from the Tour Bus that actually features you, but I yeah, well, it's not really 2 minutes because I left on the atomic dog thing.
Right. Okay.
But I may cut it before it gets to that part because I just really kind of want to. Well, actually, let's not do that. You guys want to look up Tales from the Tour Bus? You can do that. How did it save you, or how did it?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
How did Tales from the Tour Bus save you from that? Or
because they communicated with me. I'm not joking. They communicated with me, and this is before this is like when it happened, they're like, why are you worried about, and this is before Tales of the Tour Bus came out. I saw the ships and stuff, and I heard messages like, why are you worried about that? We got you. You don't need to worry about that. You just wait. And I'm telling you, 2 weeks later, Tales of the Tour Bus came down and just slammed it all down. Just shut it down. Shut all that cyberbullying down. It was amazing because it's hard when people are cyberbullying you. It's very difficult to undo it. It's just difficult. Right. So that was handled. I'm very spiritual, guys. I just want you to know I'm a real spiritual being. So I look like that was a hand of God that did that. Like, okay, that's enough smite. Okay, you're done. No more. And then a lot of program directors called me up and said that they were told that I wasn't this, and if they put me on, that they would sue them and da-da-da. And I'm like, wow. I had no idea any of that was going on. But it all got shut down. I didn't have to do it, so I'm happy. You know, And so
people that have the bigger picture, one of the reasons why it kind of validated Sheila was because of the fact it says she is one of the brides of Funkenstein. End of story.
End of story.
Absolutely. I'm on the side of the bus with all the greats. And they're like, we didn't see her up there, so damn, that was their response. So, you know, I don't have to prove who I am. George made me. He made me a Bride of Funkenstein, a lead singer. He always introduced me as the lead singer of the Brides of Funkenstein. He did that.
Thank you.
But I thank her for, you know, I'm thankful to Dawn for a lot of things. I have no malice toward her. You know, people go through shit, you know, and they do things they probably regret later. And that's okay. You know, I do still love her. Okay. I'm going to put it out there right now on your show. I still love Dawn. Dawn has done some really good things, and she's my funky sister. You gonna be my funky sister no matter what. So let's get this party started. That's where my head is at. After the pandemic will make you think, right? Will wake you up. People, the pandemic was a wake up call. Period.
Exactly.
Why you want to walk? Yeah.
It changed the world. It changed the world in a variety of different things. Yes. Also, well, taught people to keep their distance, but also from a bit, the business perspective about now learning how to work remote. No, it just changed everything.
It changed. It changed the world, but it also allowed people to change their own world.
Yes, because they had
to learn how to do that.
Exactly.
So, but the only way you can ever do that is when everything else slows down, and we're so easily distracted. And this slowed everything down. So
you didn't have a choice. It was like shut it down.
You never
no choice. That's it. That was the only way it could have happened, though. Nobody's going to do it on their own. You're not going to just shut down on your own,
Not without a reason or a motivation or something, and a push or two.
And a push, yes.
So I want to talk about, because I don't know how much longer we have you, but I do want to talk about your work with Steve.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I do want to talk about your work with Steve Washington.
Steve Washington?
Yes. Because I actually have a little clip from I guess this is from the Civil Attack album. There was Steve and you worked together. It was Steve from Slave, one of the founder of Slave. He was a trumpeter.
Yes, Steve Washington was my husband. We have a son. Yes.
And it was the Aura albums. You had 2 Aura albums, AURRA, for those who want to kind of go out there with Satisfaction and Body Rock.
Yes.
There was supposed to be released on Quincy Jones.
Oh yeah, Quincy Jones label. Yes.
Back in 2013, but it was, I guess, but you guys had
before 2013. No, way back. No, it was supposed to be.
It was found in 2013. The album,
right? It was found, right? I basically, Daniel Boreen, he found this tapes on they were out on the internet, like somebody was selling them because the guy Pablo Davis had passed away. We had done the album with Pablo and for Quincy, and then Star Jones and Kurt, they showed up like, oh, but we're Aura, they're not Aura, which in actuality, we did have the right to be Aura, but they didn't have the internet like this. So Quincy was like, I don't want, he was like, I'm done. They didn't even want to hear. The minute any trouble showed up, he was done. So, and then my ex was, he and Pablo kept making advances. I'm sorry. And they got into a big, it wasn't cute. It wasn't cute. And he told him a certain thing that Pablo didn't like. And that was the end of that. So he kept all the tapes and everything, and we went home and we just forgot about him. Basically, we couldn't get him. So I guess when he passed away, his family put him up to be bought. And this guy, Daniel, bought them all. He bought them. And then he went to Steve, and Steve didn't tell me. He went to Steve, and Steve got mad at him and felt insulted by him because he wasn't offering enough money to do whatever. I don't know. But the guy flew all the way to Jersey from California, which is a long flight. And Steve refused to see him. So he went back and he almost had a nervous breakdown. He told me. And I felt so bad. But I talked to Steve. I was going to go to Armin Baladian and try to get our money from Armin. That's another story. But anyway, so I told Steve, I'm going to go get our money from Armin. I'm going to make sure that you get your half or whatever. And he was like, then I guess he felt a little guilty because he hadn't told me about Daniel. So then he brought up Daniel. Then it took about 2 months later, he finally gave me the phone number to call Daniel. So I called Daniel because I don't like to leave things like that, and just unsettled. So I called him and I made arrangements with him and to Steve's satisfaction. And then I flew to New Jersey and stayed in the house with my ex-husband, which is crazy, to get this done. Because Steve was about to have 2 hip surgeries, hip replacements. And he didn't really want to do this. So I had to go there to convince him we need to do this. So Daniel had the tapes, but they weren't finished. So we had to get somebody to finish the tapes, to finish mixing them, mastering them. We had to do all that. And so Daniel decided he would pay for that. But then Steve wanted some money in the interim. So he paid for that too. He gave us some money up front. And so we did it, but Daniel didn't want to, I was trying to offer my promotion and marketing expertise, like what I know. He didn't want to hear anything that I was saying. He told my friend Kamal Humphrey, who was with American Idol for the past 17 years. He told him that he didn't want to be white boyed, which I have no idea what that means. What the hell does that mean? By me. I don't want to be white boyed. What the hell does that mean? I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So he didn't want to listen to me. The song Perfect Date was #1 in London, and he didn't know what to do. It was just unbelievable. So then my friend Brad, he bought this stuff and he listened to it. And he's, oh, Sheila, this is great. He says, do you have your masters? Right. And I hadn't even thought about my masters. Right. Because I gave the guy the chance and that whole deal with him was done. But I hadn't thought about the masters because, life goes on. I take care of my mom and I hadn't thought about the masters. So I called Daniel. I said, Daniel, hey, where are the masters? You think I get those masters? I texted him. Right. And so he's like, he gets furious and is like, who are you talking to? Like, what? Who am I talking to? He didn't want to give me my masters, but I have ways to get them. He didn't want to give them to me, so it got ugly, and it was just I couldn't believe this guy who was my really good friend. All I did was bring up the masters, and he freaked. So it didn't go well. Brad had ordered a CD from him. He never sent it to him, and he blocked him. So I sent Brad the CD because I had one. So I sent it to him. And we reconnected because Brad and I were roommates in California with 2 other girls. And he was like my bestie, in California. Then he went back home to Indiana. I came back to Detroit. And then we reconnected. And that's how all this, we definitely got all back into this. And then he decided he said, Sheila, I want to do this Facebook thing. It's called Everything Sheila. It was his idea. And I'm like, okay. And he ran with it. And he's just amazing, And then my friend Rachel, she's very helpful too, because she helps me with a lot of things that I'm too busy to really figure out on my own. She helps me. So I have a lot of heroes in my life. And I want to tell you that the Holy Spirit told me, and I'm going to go there, to acknowledge the heroes in your life and pray for the haters. That's what you do. So you guys are definitely heroes for what you do. So I'm going to acknowledge you right now. Okay. You are definitely heroes in the game. So thank you for that. And I just wanted to share that, it's powerful. If somebody does something, a heroic thing, like anything when I'm out, I tell them, you're my hero for today. And you should see how these people light up. And it's like, it's amazing. That little thing is amazing. So yeah, that's my mission right now. And Stozo told me we're supposed to have as much fun as possible, as long as possible. That's why we are here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
100%.
Yeah. So obviously you've been through quite a bit on this for sure.
Yeah.
It's that's quite a bit. I actually have I didn't have a clip that I created for Perfect Date, but I did have a little clip if people want to hear it. A little clip of a civil attack. So let's take a listen to this. Man, that bass.
Stevie is a beast on bass.
Yes.
I've never seen anybody play the way that man plays. I'm serious. And, we have a son, Samak Washington, who is he's in the I have 2 sons actually, but I have one with Stevie. He was in the movie Crooklyn, the Spike Lee movie Crooklyn. My son, he was a principal. He was the little Joseph, the youngest of the children. Yeah, and he's also George's godchild. My son is George's godchild. Yes.
Nice.
Came on, yeah. That was, I don't even remember that. I don't remember that me singing that part right there. That was amazing. Wow. I don't remember that part. I don't even remember it. This is bad. I need to listen to my albums over again. I really do. I do.
Yeah, because you changed your name to, well, Amuka.
Yes.
And then there was a bunch of releases that happened
dance
there as well.
My dance. Oh yeah, my dance thing. Yeah.
And Jeff, you kind of had the rundown on that if you want to kind of go through the
because I was looking at the dance side, and first the question I had was the dance side of what you were doing what inspired you to change the name to Amuka, or was it something else? Because
no, Amuka is a very spiritual name. There's a place in Israel. It's a place of fertility in Israel. Yeah. But I was working with this guy, and he basically, it was a name that he was playing around with, right? When we did Appreciate Me. And we both decided, okay, we're going to use this name. But I went out there and gave the name a life. You know what I'm saying? I did all the shows. I did the radio shows. I did a lot. And I trademarked my name because it was mine. Because guess what he did? He went back to the label and was like, oh, so the next Amuka record is going to be by this girl. I'm like, and they're like, oh, no. Peter Rohofer was like, oh, no. I have to say I love him because he stood up for me. He said no. And then the radio station, KTU, they were like, we're not going to, they said to the label, I was in there, I didn't understand why they said, don't bring us somebody else in here and tell us that she's Amuka, because we won't play her. We're only going to play her as Amuka. And I'm like, why are they saying that? That's why I asked, why are they saying that? And then he told me about Jackie was trying to get this other girl to be. And then I found out a lot of stuff. Like when I first did the record with Jackie, my friend Louis Ballo, God rest your soul, baby. Louis Ballo made me go to Jackie B. The first time I went to him, nothing happened. So then Louis like, you got to go back. You got to go back. I'm like, why? He said, go back. So I went back and we did Appreciate Me. I didn't get paid. I spent $40 for the parking lot. I did not get paid. He didn't pay me. Then later we got signed to Peter Rohofer's label. He lied and told me he only got $1,000. See, but I tell you, these lies, they come, the truth always surfaces. So Peter Rohofer, I'm talking to him, we're getting ready to do the second record, which was called not Craving. God. I did. Yes, that record. Boy, you are good. So
I am that good.
Yeah, you are. So we were doing the next record, and Jackie was trying to be slick, and the guy was like, I said, what? He said he wanted 10,000. He wanted 3 times what we gave him before. I said, what? $3,000. I said, no, 10,000. I'm like, what? They've given him $3,500. And he told me he only got 1,000. He gave me $350 of $1,000. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. Oh. But when I went to sign this is another trick that really baffles the mind. I had a contract that he sent me. I had my lawyer look at the contract, right? But he and I met at this Mexican restaurant in New York to sign the contract. Why did he bring a whole different contract? Tell me that. Why did that man bring a totally different contract? I figured I wouldn't know this is not the same contract because I brought the contract with me. I'm like, this isn't the same contract. So I called my lawyer and she said, just put in there that you wrote half the song and that you're entitled to 50% of the publishing and the writers. And that's what I did. Because he was trying to make it work for hire, but I was not a work for hire. I crossed that out. But I signed it, but everything worked in the best way possible. I did a nice little prayer. But it's just crazy how people try to swindle you. Whoa.
Yeah, and they will do that.
Oh my God, you brought a different contract to the meeting? That never happened to me. Yeah. So I'm warning y'all, make sure, and you know what, initial every page of the contract, because sometimes they can change the page. You don't want that either. You want to initial every page of the contract with your initials. Yes.
Yeah, and work for hire is a sneaky way to get out of having to pay anything else. Hey,
thank
you got
you.
Your money.
I don't do work for hire. Never. I'll never
those
do
of you
it.
who are not, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So for those of you who are not aware of Appreciate Me, which was a 2003, this is the dance song that she got with producer. It was Peter Rohofer.
Rohofer, yeah. Rohofer.
Yeah, Rohofer. Never get it right. But it was a Billboard's top 10. So it wasn't just a good dance song. It was Billboard's top 10, and it was licensed for CD compilation, right?
Yes,
Queer as Folk.
it was actually #1. Billboard did a top 200, and my song was #1 on that top 200.
So,
yeah.
So there you are, and it was licensed for Queer as Folk under the Club Babylon soundtrack.
Yes.
So I mean, it had movement. It had all those things.
A lot.
We can actually play. We can actually play a little clip of this. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can play it. I'll just share. I'll just share the tab. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let's try this.
Down the runway, can you be? You don't appreciate me. You don't appreciate me. You don't appreciate me. You don't appreciate me.
And that's a very techno.
Oh my God! Yes.
And Peter was the one that produced that the music for it.
Yeah, so, he did the music. Well, actually, it was a guy named Airmail. Peter would always fly back to his hometown, but it was a guy named Airmail that actually was doing those mixes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So when you guys did that follow up, because then you did "You Ain't That Good."
Oh boy.
Which was another banger.
Both of those songs were inspired by George.
Sweet. Then you finally did an album, right? A dance album with Disco Mind.
Well, we didn't do an album. I don't think it was a whole album, but Disco Mind
out or something.
Disco Mind was was before Appreciate Me. It was before.
Oh, okay. So, so what was the story? What happened with Disco Mind, the band?
I don't even know. Like, that was Jackie Christie, and there was a guy, Disco Mind, and we did the song. I thought it was great, and I don't really know, because they were handling everything. I just, I did my part and they were handling it. So I don't really know what happened after that. I moved on to doing a bunch of other stuff that I was involved in. A lot of stuff.
Because you're also with Blackwood.
Oh yeah, Blackwood. That was in Italy. That was Italy.
Yeah. So that's
Peace. The song Peace and Friday Night. And that was #1. That was a #1 song. In it, I beat Madonna in Italy. Yes, I did.
Hits.
Oh my gosh! Look at that! You got beat Madonna now.
Oh God, no.
So, and here's the other thing too: is like, some of these songs that you do become so big over in Europe. They have like insane amounts of versions and remixes and stuff. I wanted to play. There was a song when you were with the label Swishcraft.
Oh yeah, I'm with them now. Yeah, label. I love them.
And you did the song Bougie Bougie.
Bougie for Matt Consola, yes, with Brad Henry, yes.
And here's a clip of Bougie Bougie, and this is one of the remixes of that song, but it's just like it's insane how many there literally is, no joke, an entire album, like 24 remixes of this song.
I know.
Like, oh my word. Let's play this one. Hold on a second.
Your face is your credit card.
Yeah, in our society. Yeah, in our society. Everybody wants to be bougie, bougie. I know everybody wants to be bougie, bougie.
Wow, I love that song. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to do it at first.
Well, and I was going to ask you that because you are now in like the techno realm. Well, a lot of stuff that you're doing is kind of falling in this techno realm, and I realize that a lot of these remixes make it techno.
Right.
Start that way. When you're recording it, like for instance, that particular song, was that really that have like a lot of techno flair when you originally recorded it? I don't know.
No, it was very normal. It's funny because Brad was like, I didn't want to do it. I'm like, Brad, I'm gonna do this song. It's R&B, man. He was like, Sheila. So then he got my husband's voice. Okay, Sheila, come on, Sheila, you can do this. Come on, you gonna do it. So he went to that voice, and I said, you know what, Brad? I looked at him and I cracked up. I was cracking up. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do this song, and we're gonna talk about this song is gonna be big, and watch people. I'm gonna have to tell this story about how I didn't want to do it, and you talked me into it, and it became a smash. I mean, that's what happened. That's what happened. The song is like doing really well, and I have to tell you, Brad has been very helpful with Rachel. They've been working. Brad is like amazing. He definitely, with everything, Sheila came at the right time. Everything is like a miracle. It's like everything, the timing is perfect. It's perfect. So yeah, it's doing well. And then I have a lot of stuff coming out, really.
That's how blessings are supposed to be.
Oh, yes, you know about blessings. You do. Blessings and miracles, and I expect them. I do.
And
I do.
And before, and you're still in it. And before we let you go, I do definitely have to talk about your involvement with Public Enemy. Tell me.
Oh, heck yeah.
Tell me got wrapped up with, and I love Chuck D. I got a chance to meet him a couple times. He actually did a drawing of me.
Oh my God. Really?
I'll have to show it to you. I'll have to show it to you.
Yes.
So let me do this. Let me play a clip of a track that just a minute clip of Public Enemy's Honky Tonk Rules.
Yes.
That is kind of it's a spin on Rolling Stones Honky Tonk Women, but they change it to Honky Talk.
They did.
And that's a lot of, it's Public Enemy.
Yes, controversial. Right. Yes.
But I kind of broke it up, so you're kind of highlighted in some of these things. But let's take a listen to this just for a minute, and then tell me how you got involved with Public Enemy. And while this is playing, I'm going to grab this drawing. I got to check this out.
I'm just tired of your song, tired of your song. You can keep it. Keep it. Your heart gets on rules. You tell me something that you think I don't know. Think again, yeah. Well. Okay. It's on the rules.
That's a little clip for you of
your voice.
Killing it.
I love you guys. Can I just take
I did actually. This is what Chuck D.
Oh my God.
So that was pretty cool.
So did you have Chuck on the show?
He has not been on the show. I've met him a couple times, and both times hanging out. Oh yeah, I would love to have him on the show.
Absolutely.
Chuck is amazing. Oh my God. He's
fantastic. But how did you get involved with PE and
Drac from the group Slave. Drac. Mark Adams. I mean, no, Mark Stevens. No, not Mark Stevens. Mark. Anyway, Mark. Every time he would do any kind of a thing, he would do a lot of projects, right? But whenever he would do the projects, he would call the girls, he needed women to do. And some of these women, he would tell them, I'm going to call Sheila. Don't call Sheila. We got this. We don't need her. Every time, right? And he was like, okay. So when he got, Public Enemy had signed some artists, some young artists, and the artists couldn't put on the stage what they were doing in the studio. They couldn't recreate it on the stage. They didn't have the stage presence. And then they were like, well, and Sean Carter, I was talking to Sean Carter. Sean, I love Sean. Sean, I love you. Sean was like, he was the guy that was talking with Drac. So Drac told them, he said, Sheila, when they came to me with this project, they wanted me to find somebody that could handle the stage. And I knew you had been trained by the best, George Clinton. So when I told them, they were very interested in, I was supposed to do it with Lakeside, something with Lakeside. And that was the whole premise. So then Drac had a conference call with them one time where he said to them, even after we do our project, I would like for you guys to give her her own record. And they agreed. And not long after that, he passed away. But I knew about this. And so it was like, we're on a mission to do this. So then I met Gary Ronaldo, who was their Italian guy. And he's like the producer for a lot of the stuff. So I met Gary and we got together. We did Everything, the song Everything, which went to 2 million, like right away. And they knew they were going to sign me. But we were doing this video. The whole thing was crazy with the video. It was like, I saw them when they went through hell trying to get the licensing for Honky Tonk, the music from it was not even the Rolling Stones, I don't think, own it, but they finally got it on that day. We were recording the video, and this girl who has Flavor's child now. Anyway, she showed up and kicked me off the set of my own video. And I was dressed up and everything. And my friend Renee was with me. And I'm like, and I didn't argue with her. I said, okay. So then Gary was like, Sheila, we need you. Where are you? I said, well, she kicked me off. Get back over here. Don't listen to her. So then I went back and did the video. And that was that video day. I remember every time I see that video of the song, it reminds me of the whole incredible day. And that was the day that Chuck told me, he said, Sheila, I want to help you get everything that you work so hard in your life for. I want to make sure you get your rewards. Chuck D, so he told me that. Yes. And I'll never forget that. That was like, he's a beautiful soul. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, and Gary Ronaldo they were beautiful, but this girl showed up and she kind of like, and I really care for her, but it just broke everything up. And I witnessed the whole thing. It's in my book too. So that was crazy because I love those guys. Those are my guys. Yeah, they're my guys. It was fun. It was fun.
That's awesome. I mean, just the opportunity to do that and just to be involved with them all the time is pretty fantastic.
Amazing. And thank you for I told you that the title of my book was Dancing in Heels Across the Galaxies on a Hero's Journey to the Mothership. You said Journey to the Mothership. And then put the other stuff in parentheses. Is that what you said? Journey to the Mothership. And then all the other stuff goes in. So Journey to the Mothership, that's a cool title.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Christopher, you guys I just want to tell you guys are awesome. You are definitely heroes in the game. I appreciate what you do. I have much gratitude for your very good interviewers too. Brad was he was like, they're really good. So I have to tell you, you're very good. And I think it would be amazing for anybody to come on your show. You're beautiful souls. And I would love to come back again. I have another song coming out called Don't Treat Me Like I'm Invisible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's like part 2 of Appreciate Me.
Exactly. Can I tell you? I tell you? It is another Appreciate Me. And it's so bizarre because it's going to be on the House of Aviance. It's going to be on that label. You know who Kevin Aviance is? Kevin Aviance, because he was in Beyonce's documentary movie Renaissance, and she used his word on her album. That's Kevin. So House of Aviance. I signed Don't Treat Me Like I'm Invisible, and we're working on it right now. I'm also working on a song with Tamiko Dixon, who is Willie Dixon's granddaughter, and the song it's called A Beautiful Life, and it is a beautiful song. Matter of fact, while we were creating the song, the engineer that his girl got pregnant and they're getting married. It's like crazy. I was like, we created a beautiful life in the studio, but you created a beautiful life at home. So it was and life is beautiful. That's what I want to leave. Please remember, life is beautiful and just focus on that. All the other stuff, it's just life. And life is beautiful. Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, and one more thing I want to tell you real quick. I got this thing when I was in California and it was like, don't live your life on a battlefield. You might step on a landmine and never come back. Let God handle your battles, and you concentrate on what you were put down on this earth to do. Period. And try to help other people as much as possible. Help other people, man. Be a hero to somebody. Be a hero. be a hero. That's the other
Right.
thing. Just be a hero.
So, everybody, if make sure you pay attention and follow Sheila. What is it? Brad has a group. It's the
Everything Sheila
on
Facebook
Facebook.
page.
Yeah,
And I
let me-
also have Amuka. I do have a Amuka page. I do have a Sheila Brody Amuka page. I think it's Sheila
I will-
Brody Amuka. Right.
Here, I'm going to share the screen right now so you guys can take a look at it because it is right here.
There
And
we go.
so it's everything Sheila. And what I will do.
But I have another Facebook page. I have 2 Facebook pages. I have an Amuka page as well. Yes. That is not my only page. I have 2. I have a Sheila Brody Amuka as well, and there's stuff on both pages. But everything Sheila just encompasses everything because everybody constantly was like, you need to put it all together. So Brad put it all together. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna go there. Yeah. For all the marijuana smokers, yes, I stopped smoking weed a year and a half ago, and I used to love marijuana like we all do. Yes.
Oh yeah, man.
And my doctor is funny because I stopped cold turkey. My doctor was like, "Oh, your lungs are gonna take a whole year to heal." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I couldn't breathe afterwards. I couldn't breathe. I had to get an inhaler and a nebulizer. I couldn't breathe. But she was right. So that's why I got the elliptical, because I was trying to build up my lungs. But in the process, I lost 42 pounds. Yes, I did. And I'm so yes, I'm built. And I asked the heart doctor, "Is that a good thing?" He said, "Absolutely. That's 100% a great thing that you're working your heart." And the way to do it is if you just get on the elliptical, but because you did it, you lost 50 pounds, so you just get on it and burn 500 calories, which is like 60 or 70 minutes. You can work yourself up to it. Trust me, it's not as bad as it sounds. That weight just falls off. That's all I did. I really didn't change my diet seriously, but it just fell off.
Yeah, people don't realize the power and the beauty of the body. It'll take care of itself if you start taking care of it. It'll do all that. It'll go where it belongs.
Sir. Yes, it will. Yes, it
Well,
will.
let me just say it was an honor having you on here.
Thank
and it's again, we wanted to make sure that we give the flowers to the women of funk, and
Please.
had to have you on, and it has been an absolute honor having you on here. And thank you so much for coming in. And definitely make sure you check her out on Facebook and go to the Everything Sheila page, as well as the other page.
Sheila Brody Amuka, the Amuka page. Yes, Amuka.
Yes,
There's 2.
The Amuka page, and just follow her and she'll be out. And just also make sure that if you are in Atlanta, you let us know so that we can, we can
absolutely.
Go.
Are you kidding me? And are you guys going to work? Are you going to work on that show? What's going on? The show you asked me about. Like, would you be interested in doing this show? I said yes.
Yes. Well,
and you said in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Good place to start.
Yeah, it would be a good place to start. I know that both. The problem is that there's got to be some type of symbiotic nature going on between the and I think that's where the struggle is right now, right?
Okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm over whatever. However she, I think it'd be a great idea. The fans, I love my fans, and they want it. So it's about them.
Let the music be the glue, right?
Exactly. I like that.
And
let the music be the glue. I like that.
That's right.
Perfect.
Ladies,
I'm really glad you came out. Thank you for hanging out behind me over here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. You really are.
Give a big round of applause, everybody, to Sheila.
I'm clapping for you.
We're clapping for you.
And thank all the fans for coming and just being, just coming and just checking everybody out and just being a part of this whole wonderful creation that you've made possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we will hope to see you soon.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So much. All right.
Much love.
Much love. Thank you guys so much. We will see y'all later. Good night.